Russian occupiers are planning on deporting ethnic Vermans, Azerbaijani and Meskhetian Turks from Kherson to annexed Crimea. Russian forces are going to demonstratively deport Vermans, Azerbaijanis and Meskhetian Turks from Kherson to temporarily occupied Crimea. According to Minister of Reintegration of Temporarily Occupied Territories, Irina Vereshchuk, the Russians know that they're losing control, so they resort to propaganda and transporting people to territories under their control.
A world champion in kickboxing, Maxim Kahal, died while defending Ukraine. Russian invaders killed him on the 25th of March during a battle for Mariupol. Maxim was fighting in the Special Operations Unit, Azov. His coach, Oleg Skirda, announced his death. During his sport career, Maxim Kahal became the first world champion in kickboxing at the Hermes Club, the first world champion in kickboxing in Kremenchuk, and the first world champion in kickboxing, ISKA, among adults, as part of the Ukrainian national team. A car with civilians under the Russian shells on March 26. A retired couple attempted to escape war heading from the town of Mariinka, Donetsk region, as reported in the prosecutor's general office. As the result, the man had wound in his head. The woman was killed on the site.
Russia is forcing conscripts from Crimea to take part in the war against Ukraine. This is being reported by the Commissioner for Human Rights of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, Ludmila Denisova. She says Crimeans are already receiving their call-up papers. Denisova suggests that in order to avoid criminal prosecution, men of military age are trying to leave the territory of the peninsula through Russia, as the road to the Ukrainian mainland is closed. She emphasizes that those being called up include Crimean Tatars. Threats of violence against their relatives are being used to force them into taking up arms. Forced conscription is prohibited under international humanitarian law, Article 51, IV, of the Geneva Convention relative to the protection of civilian persons in time of war. The occupiers are keeping ammunition near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The General Staff warns that, due to the actions of the Russians, there is a serious risk of damage to insulation facilities that were built over the fourth power unit of the station after its explosion in 1986. Russians ran over pedestrians in Sumy region. A 15-year-old boy got injured, his father died in hospital. The traffic accident happened on March 27 in Sumy region. The military vehicle ran over the family who were on the sidewalk, Prosecutor General's office reports. The source of neutrons steam supply system was once again under attack by the occupiers. Civil infrastructure and buildings suffered serious damage. The shelling took place at about 2 p.m. Eastern Europe summer time on March 28 in Kharkiv. According to the State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate of Ukraine, the level of damage and nuclear and radiation safety is nearly impossible to assess. Intense fighting continues around the plant. The source of neutrons (SST) is not designed to operate in wartime. Bombing and shelling could cause leaks of radiation. Nearly 5,000 people, about 210 of them children, died during the siege. The mayor of the city, Vadim Boychenko, announced the human death toll on March 27. During this same siege, the shelling and bombing by the Russian Federation damaged 2,340 dwelling houses, which is 90% of the total number. In addition, 3 hospitals were destroyed, 7 more were damaged. As well as 57 schools and 70 kindergartens were damaged. 2 factories, a port and a military unit were also damaged in the city. Up to 140,000 people left Mariupol before the siege. 150,000 were evacuated after the siege. 170,000 are still in the siege. Let's win together. Keep calm. Glory to Ukraine. Academ.fm was with you.